Ladies, gentlemen, we are here with Pokemon Masters Council podcast number 51. We have so much to talk about today, Justin. So much news in the Pokemon world.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We are going to be talking about the big home update. We're also going to be talking about Regulation D. It's kind of half and half. It's a huge update. But first, I want to give a big special shout out. Thank you to all the subscribers. If you're listening to us on Spotify, go check us out on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, go listen to our podcast over on Spotify. That 5-star dive, we appreciate the rating.
Yeah.
Leave a thumbs up on this video. We also have a couple other videos that we put out recently. We do how to use guides. We do battle videos, and oh boy, are we going to have a lot of content coming for you this summer. We'll get into it right now.
Yeah.
As usual, for people that are new to the podcast, Zero, how do we usually start this off? How you been? Been 2 weeks?
I've been good. We usually start this off with Host Hobbies, where we talk about what we've kind of been up to in our personal lives. Not going to lie.
So non-Pokemon related, have you been doing much?
No.
There is one thing. In the past 2 weeks, you beat a game.
I did beat a game, and I got your back. Shattered. I'm still shattered. I beat. I beat Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Let's go.
I'm late to the party.
Oh, that's okay. You have kids. 3 kids. It's literally like you. We have a lot of stuff going on as well as the channel, but you beat it.
Do
you have a rating? Do you have a rating for us yet? You haven't done the DLC yet, just the game itself.
Yeah, the DLC is going to answer some of the questions that are kind of left open.
And you're excited to do that?
But as far as, yes. I'm not going to start that for another couple of weeks because I'm going up north next weekend.
Yeah, vacation.
So after that, I'm going to download it. But I'm going to be so busy, there's no point in downloading it right now. Yeah, the game, I'll give it like a 8.5 out of 10, maybe. I think it was my least favorite of the 3, but it's still a top-tier game.
But still top. Okay, that's legit. Because you're like a huge Xenoblade, just like I like Fire Emblem.
Yes, yeah.
This is your Fire Emblem.
I'm emotionally shattered. I am damaged.
People died. Okay, heard.
I'm not okay. Yeah, and that's the way it ends.
Who hurt you?
Like as far as like this is the end of the trilogy of these games. It connects the games, so this is it. Like as far as we know, Xenoblade, this trilogy is done. Yeah, and the ending just broke me. So that's the one Pokemon thing I've been up to. Non-Pokemon. Yeah, pardon me. So what about you?
Non-Pokemon. I went out to Grand Haven last weekend. There's a little hobby store out there. They actually bought the space there in like a strip mall.
Yeah, so Grand Haven is a lakeshore community in Michigan.
Sorry. Out on Lake Michigan. Yeah. Beautiful place out there.
Yeah.
About half an hour-ish away from where I live. So I went out there. The game store next to them was, they bought the space, so they're about to do some renovation and basically double their space inside for tables and retail space. So it's pretty awesome. Really nice people. They had like a hobby day teaching people how to play, as well as just us, a bunch of people, like 7 or 8 of us from Grand Rapids went out and showed up and did some Warhammer stuff and had a lot of fun. It was great. Beautiful day. Lots of fun times. It's called Epic Games.
Okay, cool.
Epic Tabletop Games.
Cool.
Spelled just like the normal word, EPIC.
Yeah.
So really, really cool. Go check them out. It was very fun. For you, if you've ever been out to Grand Haven, or for anybody in Michigan, it's right across the street from the Grand Haven Myers. So if you're familiar with Grand Haven Myers, it's right in there. There's like a Grand Haven like D&W, or I think now it's Family Fair.
Dude, anyone listening to this who's not from Michigan is like, what? What the F is Myers?
But we have
D&W.
But we have a lot of people that are from, we have a lot of friends.
It's our grocery store.
Stores.
It's our like it's like imagine our chain of Walmart in like the Michigan area, but it's like nice.
Yeah, it's like a nice Walmart.
Yes. Yeah. So anything else, or are we gonna start diving in?
In terms of like non-Pokemon stuff, I think that's pretty much it. I've just been doing a bunch of like yard work and stuff.
Yeah.
My voice is all hoarse. Just been doing all kinds of stuff at actual work and getting ready because this weekend we're having a nice PMC barbecue. We're taking the Saturday off. We're gonna go see a movie. Gonna go see Transformers.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
When you see this, the day that this podcast comes out will be the day that movie drops.
Yep.
So stay tuned. Go see that. But yeah, we're gonna go seeing that on Saturday. So for people that are watching us, we'll be seeing it tomorrow because that's my day off.
Yes.
So everybody's waiting for me to see it the day after. So we're gonna go see it in the morning and then go to my house and have a barbecue and part of the news a little bit, but we're gonna be opening up our Paldea Evolved.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Yes. So we got a big Saturday planned. But to kind of wrap up what we've been doing and also sort of segue into the news.
Yeah, the host hobby kind of news a little bit.
It's a weird kind of blend because what we've been doing is a big part of our news.
Yeah.
Pokemon Home. We've been doing mad transfers, getting ready.
Yeah, Pokemon Home kind of just dropped a little bit ago. So we've been doing all of that. So I guess we will be talking about that. Obviously, the title of the show is all about Pokemon Home, so we'll get into that a little bit later. But basically, we kind of have a couple of staples that we want to just shout out. Like, if you have been fans of the channel from us in 8th Gen, these are returning favorites. Some of mine, like Avocado Mon, the Rillaboom, Teemo, the original, like we still call the new ones Teemo, but the original Amoonguss. Like, all of these pokes that are all competitive made that were waiting on the bench, put me in, coach. All of my Jakes.
I've had 4 Corviknights.
My Arcanines.
In Sword and Shield
I had
was
four,
waiting to transfer
4
over.
Arcanines, 4 Rillabooms.
Yeah.
I think I had 3 Heracross, a Jolteon, all those top 10 favorites coming through, at least out of the ones that are legal right now. So
I also had 4 Arcanines to bring over. Yeah, and it's you're going to start seeing a lot more battle videos now, whether that's ranked.
We're going to battle each other.
We're going to battle each other. We're going to play on the casual ladder. We're going to play on the ranked ladder. Whatever it is, maybe we're going to stream stuff. You're going to see a lot more battle content.
A lot more battle content, because this is what we've been waiting for. We talked about it before. Like, Home was the floodgates, and it's here. The floodgates have officially opened. Regulation D was announced, hence the title of this podcast. We'll get into that. So the floodgates open there. So there's so much that we have been kind of had on deck.
Yeah.
That's now straight up, like, we have already been working behind the scenes, so we'll get into all that.
Yeah.
I guess a few quick news topics before we actually get into the nitty-gritty of Home. Like we already talked about, Transformers, if by the time you're hearing this podcast comes out today, June 9th, go see the film, go support it. We're really excited. We grew up in the 90s. We love Transformers, especially Beast Wars and Beast Machines era.
Yeah.
And this is the first of a trilogy, so this is... go into this with an open mind, remembering that this is not the last time you're going to see these characters.
They're busting out.
There's 2 more films with these Maximals.
They're busting out Unicron in the first movie.
I'm excited.
I don't know how you top that.
I'm excited.
But
maybe he'll show up and it goes black to credits.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So,
Peter Dinklage plays Scourge, the bad guys.
Dude, the voice acting cast is crazy.
Ron Perlman, Slade, is Optimus.
Is it Mulan?
No, I looked it up. It's Michelle Yeoh, not Ming-Na Yen. So Michelle Yeoh, she's from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Shang-Chi. She was like the one. She was like the mom that trained him and everything.
Okay. So yeah, like huge, great voice acting cast.
The dude who plays Bender from Futurama is Rhinox. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So we can't wait. We'll let you know next pod how the movie was. Other than that, Paldea Evolved also drops today in English. We'll be opening ours tomorrow. We're not necessarily doing anything. We discussed it. We're taking the day off. We're taking a vacation day. We're enjoying the day with our family. We're enjoying the day with our friends. This is our day to celebrate Memorial Day weekend with the PMC crew and hang out with each other. We're just going to chill. We talked about it behind closed doors. We decided we're not going to record that day. If we open anything really sick in our Paldea Evolved, stay tuned to all of our socials and then also our YouTube, because we'll probably put out a content or reaction vid after the fact. But we're not going to do a live stream or anything that day.
So if you play cards, if you're in the comments or you're listening and you're playing cards, if you're going to get Paldea Evolved, what's your chase card? What are you looking forward to pulling? I know everyone is looking for Iono. If you've got it, Dendra.
Iono, Dendra, and then for pokes, for me, I really want any form of Sprigatito line.
The full arts.
The full arts. They have one for each stage. I know you want.
I want Quaquaval.
Same thing, all 3.
Yes, yeah. I will take any of those 3.
It's cool.
I wouldn't mind Tinglu. Tinglu would be cool.
Yeah,
I think Chi-Yu would be really good for fire decks.
I want the Chen Pao full art. We're in the blizzard. That looks a
Yeah.
cool full art. I really like the full art of Chi-Yu is amazing, and I love the full art of Wo Chen in this.
Yes, I forgot about the full art Chi-Yu. That one's crazy.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. They all have good full arts.
Yeah.
They're all four ruin pokes are in this one, so they're good stuff.
Yeah.
Can't wait to open them up. It's going to be a great time. Other than that, bro, we did have a Milwaukee Regionals this past weekend. So Milwaukee Regionals was this past weekend. It was won by a Gardevoir EX deck on the card side by Henry Brand. Really, really fun stuff. Went up against Lost Zone Box, Arceus V-Star, and Giratina V-Star as the third place. Then Lost Zone Box again. Mew VMAX in fifth. Lost Zone Box again in sixth. Go figure, Gardevoir EX in seventh. And a Mew VMAX in eighth. So that Lost Zone stuff.
Lost Zone's really strong.
Lost Zone's a real popular deck, bro.
Dude, and Giratina?
It's some strong stuff.
Giratina's a bop, dude. I think
Yeah.
he hits for 280.
Yep.
And then he has his V-Star ability lets you just erase the Pokemon in front of you.
Yeah.
They're just knocked out if you have 12 cards. I think it's 12 cards in the Lost Zone. So
One of the things I'll say right now, it kind of goes into our PokePlugs. We will put this down in the description, but it's Zapdos TCG, the YouTube channel.
Yep.
He has already put out a full deck guide of the Gardevoir EX deck that won. So if you want to see the in-depth breakdown of the deck, go check it out on his channel. We can't recommend it enough. It's one of our favorite TCG channels, mine specifically.
Yeah.
So the dude's great. So it's Gardevoir EX and
Serena?
Purple Zacian.
Was Radiant Serena in it to heal?
I don't remember about that one.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, I think so. But yeah, the Purple Zacian for the engine.
Okay.
Just like we were talking about if we were to do Gardevoir EX. So that's pretty cool seeing that take out the top spot.
The other big thing with Lost Box is Sableye.
Yep.
When you've got X amount of cards or whatever, you can put 12 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. So that's a lot. You could put 9 of them on a
9 here, 1 here, 1 here. Yeah,
exactly. You can just kind of just pick and choose where your damages. So you could put 9 on a Curlia and then take a Gardevoir EX out of play before it even gets in. So that's super, super strong. And it Sableye is a single prize card, so
very fun
it's
stuff.
So hard, and then you can just use the rescue.
It's not in our meta yet, unless we pull something out like anybody's fishing to go build a Lost Zone deck in the PMC local meta. But because we're just in cards for fun, for us, the Pokemon TCG is the definition of a beer and pretzels, or depending on your age, pop and pretzels trainers.
Trainers, young trainers,
younglings. So yeah, it's a beer and pretzels game for us personally, but we do love to watch the TCG, especially for something like this for an esports. Great fun. Can't recommend it enough. It is on the Pokemon official YouTube channel, I think is what it's called. But anyways, type it in and they'll have, and go over to the live, not in videos, but in live category, and they'll have all the previous stuff you can watch. Go, TCG, and VGC. Speaking of VGC, Zero.
Let's move on to VGC. This, gotta say, has been one of the least eventful VGC finishes when it comes to teams, right?
This is the spike.
Yeah.
This is the efficiency. This is where the cream has risen to the top because it's the end of the series.
Yeah.
It's about, the format's about to change over. Spoiler alert, we're going to do that in a second, but format's about to change. This is pretty much closing up on the middle to end of Regulation C.
Yeah.
So you can start to see that people are starting to realize, okay, this is the OP stuff. Let's just bring the hotness.
Yeah, because look at the top team.
We had we've been talking about this. This has been a Wild West for a hot minute.
Yeah.
And it will be again.
It will. It's going to be insane.
But I think it's worth talking about, Zero. This is why we personally prefer 3 months to 2 months, because it allows for that Wild West meta in the beginning.
Yes. And then you see the cream rise to the crop like you're talking about. Look at Brian Yome's team. It's
big shout out. Brian Yome. And then second place, James Evans. So big shout out to the top two. What do we got for his team?
Iron Hands. We got Ting Lu, Gyarados, Chi-Yu, Fluttermane, and Amoonguss. This is Reg C. This is the strongest 6 Pokemon
you can have
in Regulation C. I think the only things you could argue is maybe a Chen Pao, but you don't need a Chen Pao in this team archetype. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Speaking of which, James Evan in second place, brother, he brought Chen Pao along with some bangers. Look at this squad. This is a squad that I do think is a little left field, and I do like it.
Slightly.
Because he's got the Garchomp, and you normally see the D-Knight. So that's where I'm like, okay, at least he's trying to be a little different.
Yes.
I do think it is still really good. It's like we talked about in the How to Use guide. Chen Pao plus Garchomp, that's an S-tier combo. Any one of these big, heavy hitters physical, you know what I mean? So, really great. And then Goldango, Iron Hands, Iron Bundle, and then, of course, at the end, coming in with the big Firebird, the big Phoenix herself, Talonflame. Very cool team. So you see on the top 8 here, all the way across. We're not going to go through every team. You can pause it and watch it. If you are listening on Spotify, we're going to call out a couple of shouts here. Justin Tang in 6th place specifically. We love him on the channel. Paul Chua, when I tuned in, he was playing, and he had a great match against Rachel Takar. And that he played it real patient. You would have loved that. It wasn't a very flashy game, but it was one of those like, okay, that's an expert. Like, you're a master.
Yeah.
Zero. So you would appreciate the very fine nuance in the patient detail of how Paul Chua played that match specifically. So while on paper these teams don't look that dissimilar to one another in certain ways, there's a lot of repetitive archetypes here.
Yeah.
The play itself was spectacular.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things I noticed, Justin Tang and Brian Yom have the same team.
Yep.
The same exact 6 Pokemon. They're just listed in a different order here, but it's the same exact Pokemon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's because that's what's good.
The 8th place team and the 2nd place team are also exactly the same.
Yep.
Yeah. So just
carbon copy.
The only cool, interesting Pokemon here is Palmont. In this whole top 8.
100%. So we see a lot of Fluttermanes. We do see a lot of Iron Bundle. We see a lot of Chi-Yu. We see a lot of Iron Hands. We see a lot of Amoonguss, Ting Lu. It's just kind of a lot of what you'd see.
It's the ruined Pokemon doing what they do, enabling certain team archetypes and being centralizing to the meta, like we kind of predicted that they would be, right?
Absolutely.
So
I think that's well said.
All right. So moving on to our next big thing, Justin. It's here. Pokemon Home has finally dropped. If you've been living under a rock, you're just now finding out of this podcast. The Pokemon Home drops between May 30 and 31st.
Yeah, between podcast 50 and 51, this is all what happened. So, news section. This is the big news of the day.
If you didn't know, if you just found this out, subscribe right now. Leave a like, leave a comment. This is why you subscribe to the PMC. We are giving you news that you could have got a week and a half ago. Anyway,
also, that means the floodgates open. We've been teasing it for a while. As soon as Home dropped, and especially when we can actually use the pokes, we're gonna have a crap ton of content. So, Zero, what do we got, bro? What are some of the deets?
So the thing with Pokemon Home, what is Pokemon Home? It's a cloud-based storage system for your Pokemon. You can connect to a lot of different games. Connects to Pokemon Bank, which I think will be gone soon. So, or maybe I'm thinking of Pokemon.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember. One of the one before Bank. Either way, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, Pokemon Sword and Shield, big one. Diamond and Pearl, big one. Shining Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah.
And then Legends Arceus,
which is the big one.
That is the big one. So now, Justin, Hisuian Pokemon can be brought into Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, and what's more exciting is, like, not only did they give us the announcement of the home update, so we were just excited to transfer all these pokes into the game.
Yeah, we were like, wow, we can battle each other.
But then the very next day, finally being able to use these awesome new Pokemon in Regulation D.
Regulation D's nuts is here. Regulation D, Justin, July 1st to September
It's literally.
30. Yeah, it is Christmas in June, buddy. You can finally take Hisuian Pokemon out of the ranked ladder. I'm so excited to try Hisuian Samurott. We're going to be doing lots of battle content, guys. This is kind of what we wanted to base our
July
channel
1st.
around. Yeah, July
Big
1st.
competitive shakeup coming July 1st.
Yeah. So yeah, man, you got any thoughts on
this is the BFU.
Yeah.
This is the big frickin' update.
Yes.
This is what we have been waiting for. This is the incentive. This is the push. This is everything. Regulation D is not out yet, But it will be soon. We have less than a month.
Yeah.
We have 3 weeks away at the time of this podcast. If you're listening, the floodgates are going to open, and it's amazing. So,
yeah. So this is the kind of the rule set we've been waiting for, right? The premiere of Hisuian Pokemon in ranked battles. We can finally get to test out all these sets that we've been dreaming about since the Hisuian Pokemon were announced. So we're going to break down Regulation D and what we think is good and what's going to trend in our main segment, as well as we're going to talk about home and maybe some of the ins and outs of homes that you may not know about. But this also, not to be overlooked, will allow for other other forms like Galarian forms and Alolan forms. So we're getting so many, Oh, and the other big thing is Pokemon transferred from, these other sources into Scarlet and Violet will be legal. That's another big one.
So like, we already had 4 Arcanines or 4 Corviknights competitively done in 8th gen. So now we transfer them up. Now we can use those in competitive in the 9th gen game. Right now we can't.
Right.
We can't bring those on the ladder yet. You have to competitively make them in Paldea. So they're in the game. You just can't use them quite yet. July 1st.
The Regulation C rules
Correct.
state that only Pokemon caught in Paldea are
Correct.
legal. So, most of the Pokemon programmed into the games can be used once we hit Regulation D. Like I said, Galarian, Hisuian, Alolan, obviously the debut of Hisuian Pokemon. So another big thing to kind of look into, and this is the ban list, right? We're going to talk about the ban list a little bit. No legendaries, no mythicals, like we kind of expected.
Yep.
So here's a list on screen. I'm not going to rattle them all off.
I think we assumed a little that it wasn't going to do that full floodgate open, but mostly.
So once again, I don't think we will ever get a format, like an official format where mythicals are legal in VGC.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something that we're really going to see. Because we did not get that in Sword and Shield. We got the World Championships. And then after that, they announced that Series 13 or whatever, 14, whatever it was, that allowed mythicals.
Yeah,
and that
afterwards.
We never saw that at a regional. So I'm expecting something pretty similar here.
So that's pretty much it for news. There's, again, jam-packed there. You can go check a lot of those links out for yourself. We will be talking more about some of these tournaments that are coming up, but they're still, again, finishing up Regulation C. There is another tournament coming up the weekend that you're hearing this in Fresno, so it's back-to-back weekends. So there's sort of a lot to go with, so you can pause it, you can check it out there, you can go watch the video if you want there. We are going to be talking more about Milwaukee a little bit just throughout our streams and videos and stuff, but we're not going to be doing a big breakdown of that one in particular. It just doesn't fit with our timeline before he heads out of town next weekend for a mini vacation. Other than that, we do have a couple of quick PokePlugs. I already mentioned one where we talked about Zapdos TCG.
Yep.
So definitely check that out. Joey PokeMD, probably the channel we plug the most, but he did a great guide for Hisuian Samurott.
Yep.
Or not a guide, but like a battle video,
Yep.
showing him off how insane the potential is in OU. But other than that, we did a couple of cool things.
Yes.
We did a battle video.
Yep. We got Terranormal Extreme Speed Lucario battle video. Check that out. We should have Iron Bundle how to use out by now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
then stay tuned because obviously, with the announcement now that home, we talked about whether or not we wanted it this week or next, but the podcast now for home, stay tuned next week because we don't have one but 2 how to use guides for pokes that we're going to talk about today. Do we spoil who they are?
Nah.
Okay, but there's going to be 2 super hot picks. They could be from Hisui, they could be from past gens, they could be all kinds of cool stuff. So we're going to have 2 next week, and we're going to have a bunch through the month of June coming out periodically. So that way, in July 1st, a couple of those hot picks have already been covered. The ones that we love, also some of the big ones that we suspect will be good in the meta. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it for the news, the PokePlugs, and all that good stuff. I think we can go refill our coffees real quick. And we get on to the big news, which is all of the fun stuff with home and Regulation D.
See you guys in a minute. All right. right, everybody, we are back. We're here to talk about the nitty-gritty. The nitty-gritty.
Yeah, big segment here. Main segment, kind of split in half a bit. It's the home update and Regulation D, because Regulation D gives us context for these Pokemon. Yeah. So that's in which, because we don't play OU singles on Smogon. We play on the cartridge, which is Regulation C or D or Series 1, 2, whatever the case may be, right? So that's what we do, the singles there and the doubles there. Then we battle each other. So for context, that's sort of the rule set that we'll be going with.
Yeah, and we've been pretty fortunate this past podcast cycle to get not only the Pokemon Home update, but we also got Regulation D rules. So I'm going to dive into a little bit of both of those. Justin, what do you got to say about home?
Yeah, dude. I mean, being able to transfer up our old favorites, they're already EV trained.
Yes.
They're already IV'd.
Time saved.
They already have the moves, which is a big one we'll get into. We got a lot of new faces joining the Paldea and Pokedex, not just the Hisuian Pokes, or the Galarian starters, the Kanto birds, as well as the Galarian birds that they're based off of.
Yeah.
The special shiny Galarian burbs, if you have those.
Geets, the Zapdos is back. Yeah, I've got the shiny Galarian burbs.
We also have,
those on the channel.
Like you mentioned earlier in the news section, all the different regional variants.
Yes.
So like Berserker's in, and
Galarian Slowking.
Your surfboard Raichu's in.
Yep.
Even though he lost
everything.
We'll talk about him later, but I'm saying like all of these different variants are in, which is pretty cool. So if they have a variant in the game, all the others are in the game. So the Slow Bros, the Slow Kings, all that, etc.
Yeah.
On screen, I think Zero is a list. We actually have a really nice, handy dandy little graphic for you. So if you're listening, if you're listening to this on Spotify, we'll sort of read it for you or whatever, or check it out on YouTube. We will have the picture up. Otherwise, as you can see here, we do have the transfer only Pokemon. So this is picture. Anybody in this picture here? Zero on screen. The only way to get it is to transfer it through home.
Yes.
It's the only way to get these Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet currently.
Yes.
So, you have a couple of big shout-outs you like to see here?
Yeah. Obviously, I'm excited for Mewtwo.
Yeah.
This is all just like, besides competitive, just things that I'm happy to see again. Mewtwo Meloetta is coming back. We've got the two weather setters. We've got Kyogre, Groudon, so expect to see them in a restricted format near you in probably a year from now. Delphox, we haven't really dabbled with a lot of competitive Delphox.
I'm excited for Delphox. I'm excited for Greninja.
Yep.
Let's go. We didn't have Greninja in 8th gen, so this is new for us. And then also Chestnut, which we will have. There's a raid next weekend. You'll be out of town, but next weekend on the 16th, go check that raid out. It's a 7-star raid for, I believe it's a rock type Chestnut. So I'm going to be doing that along with Dougie, PMC Sport Ninjas. So, well, you're out of town. That's what we're going to be doing, trying to catch me a Chestnut.
Make sure you get it, because you're guaranteed an ability patch the first time you clear it.
I got one today, too.
Dude, you're just killing it with these
I got
raids.
one ability patch. I got 2 or 3. I had a great day for raids, dude.
Yeah, dude.
So, Heatran's back, Cresselia's back, Magearna's back. That's great for competitive. Also,
Magearna already banned from OU.
Magearna's already banned from OU, and we'll probably won't see her in VGC. But Greninja's gonna be huge.
Yes.
Wow, we need to get our hands on that boy. We need to find a way to get some. Also, the Zapdos is back. For rain teams, that's huge.
Yep.
I'm a big rain team fan. The Galarian starters are back, Zero.
Yep.
Let's go!
Yep.
And the only way to get them in this game is to transfer them up. Your boy Avocadomon, squats! And James Bond himself, pew pew, Dimitri.
Urshifu's, watch out. Urshifu's back to ruin every
Who do you think's more of a threat, Urshifu or Regieleki? Because Regieleki is going. We tell you these things on the PMC for a reason. Regieleki is going to be one of the biggest threats of this entire generation.
Yeah, Regieleki's a bigger threat in my opinion.
Reg D specifically, Regulation D, Regieleki's top 5.
That's a tough question because they're both insane.
Urshifu's great, breaks through those protects, and we don't have the max guard.
Yeah. You
can't. What do you have to have
protect
sub?
Against them.
You got to sub.
Yeah, and then if it's
And the Rapid Strike,
yeah,
you
it
can't
doesn't matter.
And I got that Rapid Strike, son.
Yeah.
Let's go. Sipping.
Sipping on Calyrex Ice, huge.
Sipping on the Calyrex Ice.
Huge.
Glastrier, before we get into restricted format, is a
That's
great
huge.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about Spectrier as much. I don't think it is. I think it's good, but not as good
Not
as
as good.
Glastrier is.
Yeah.
I think you got the better horse than I do personally. And obviously, bro, every single Pokemon from Hisui.
They're all bangers. I mean, sort of, not really. Like, I think
all have a
Overquill's probably the weakest one, but the rest are awesome.
I'm excited to try Overquill because he's poison with Intimidate. So I'm like,
Poison and Dark too. Like,
that could honestly be a legit poke,
It
especially
could.
with a Terra. So I'm the Johnny and me wants to dig deeper later with
Yes,
you and Doug
yes.
behind the curtain,
Yes.
and we're gonna come up with something juicy for Overquill. But I agree, on paper, I think he's pretty lackluster.
and
But
Avalugg probably.
Avalugg, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
He's Rock and Ice, which are two of the worst defensive typings in the
literally
game.
two of the worst put together.
But bro, your Zoroark.
Super hype. So I made my first competitive Hisuian Pokemon. It was Samurott.
Because like that's let's start there. Let's start Samurott.
Yeah.
Because like that, if it's not Regieleki, Samurott's up there too. Top 10, top 5,
Absolutely.
top 10. Like
Absolutely.
this dude is a baller. This dude is a banger. It's not just a personal bias because Brandon loves Hisuian Samurott and regular Samurott for what it's worth. That's like his top 10, maybe 11 Pokemon of all time. Like he loves that little otter, Oshawott, right?
I personally think it was when it comes to the Hisuian Pokemon, the top three, in no particular order, like the top three biggest threats in no particular order: Samurott, Sneasler, and Basculegion. I think those are your big top
In singles?
tier. Yeah. Well, yes. Oh,
In
yeah, definitely in
singles.
singles.
In
yeah.
singles.
In doubles,
I'm gonna say
not so
I'm gonna
sure.
say I would agree with that, but I'm gonna disagree with the. I don't know if I'll disagree, but I would say I don't know which one I would replace, but in my top 3, I would definitely have Samurott for singles.
Yeah.
Samurott, what did you say, Basculegion, and who else?
Sneasler.
I'm gonna disagree with the Sneasler respectfully and say Lilligant.
Okay.
I think Hisuian Lilligant has a lot of potential because of Victory Dance. So for people that don't know, this is our physical quiver dance. It's called Victory Dance. Right now, she's the only one that gets it. So basically what it is, it's +1 speed, +1 defense, and +1 physical attack. So it's like a bulk up and a +1 speed. So that's why we call it the physical quiver dance, which is +1 speed, spec D, spec attack. This one's the physical side of that. So very, very powerful with a 105 speed, 105 attack. She's got a great ability in hustle. Otherwise, she's got chlorophyll to be amazing. And then on top of that, she's got some great moves like Ice Spinner, Close Combat, Poison Jab, Leaf Blade, as well as Petal Blizzard or Solar Blade, which is team or meta dependent.
Yeah.
That's one of my hot picks for VGC. Outside of Samurott, I think he's number 1.
Yeah.
Out of all the Hisuian Pokemon, I think Samurott's number 1 regardless of meta. Samurott is the guaranteed bona fide best Pokemon out of Hisui. That's my call. PMC Justin, you heard it here first. I'm putting my name on it.
Okay. All right.
Behind that for
I'll back it.
VGC, bro, I don't know if he's like necessarily the second best, but one of the hot picks. And I think he's great for singles too. But specifically, I think he's great for singles. Like, I saw him being used so far in OU testing.
Yeah.
He's already been banned from the national decks. Super poo. Ursa Luna, baby. For people that don't know, Brandon and I have ran Ursa Ring back in the day. Famously, we love Ursa Ring. Brandon had one called Yogi Bear, had one called Pooh Bear. So now we have one that's Super Pooh Bear, Super Saiyan Pooh.
Super Yogi. Yep.
Super Yogi, Super Pooh. Ground and normal type 0. So he used to have Quick Feet and Guts. Quick Feet, when you're poisoned, you get +1 speed. Guts, when you have any status effect, you get +1 attack.
Yep.
Now, Ursa Luna no longer has Quick Feet. Speed's no longer an option. And he also got nerfed in his speed. He's down to base 50, where I think Ursa Ring was like 55 or 65.
So Quick Feet's not good.
Quick Feet's gone.
So it's a good thing we don't have that anymore.
But we still have Guts. One of the best abilities in competitive of all time.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Guts is amazing, especially on a physical attacking poke, so now you are immune to that burn.
Yeah.
In fact, burn makes you stronger.
Yeah.
And 0, what's the best thing when somebody's Guts?
Facade?
And then what's the best thing for a Facade?
Being stabbed normal?
Yeah, buddy. Ursaluna is normal ground. So what was the set for Yogi?
I think I was Swords Dance.
So was I.
I was Swords Dance, Facade. I think I was like Crunch or Night Slash.
Yep.
Something so I could hit.
Crunch or Night Slash.
And then a fighting move.
Oh, and then fighting close combat.
So I was Swords Dance,
Facade.
and then fighting, and then
Dark.
Crunch or Shadow Crunch?
No,
I think it was Crunch.
You did Crunch and Night Slash depending on which year.
Yeah.
Throughout the years, you had both because I ran both.
Yes.
Mine, instead of close combat, had Earthquake. So I had normal, ground, and dark with Swords Dance.
Yep.
And mine was Quick Feet. So I had Swords Dance and Quick Feet. But I also ran Guts too. So Super Poo, I'm putting it out right now. This boy still gets Swords Dance because Ursaring had Swords Dance.
Yeah.
He still gets Guts. And he still gets Facade Zero. That bear is going to destroy. And he's base Terra Normal.
Yep.
That's what we're doing anyways. We're double dipping that boy, and we're going to blow up the world with a choice band. Or
Flame Orb.
Flame Orb.
Yep. And he's the original Headlong Rusher. So
he is Headlong Rush.
Headlong Rush. Also, obviously, Earthquake.
What is Headlong Rush for people that don't know, bro?
It is a ground-type close combat, 100 accuracy, 120 base power, but lowers both of your defenses after it's been used.
One stage. There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think he's amazing. Earthquake's going to be great from him because he's already stabbed ground.
Yes. Super. It's going to be so strong.
Headlong Rush is going to be great from him because he's already stabbed ground. His Facade's going to be amazing. He still gets Crunch. He's going to be great in a Trick Room. He's base 50. He's super thick. That's one of my big hot picks. You want to know behind him for VGC? We've ran it on the channel before. What's my favorite VGC combo of all time? I've been spamming you about it already. I've already put 3 sets in the Discord privately.
Gudra?
Yeah, baby. We've run Gumdrop on the channel with Sap Sipper. His Suing Gudra. Now, what's the problem with Gudra? She's pure dragon, and why is that bad? Because
Fluttermane exists?
Fluttermane's the #1 Pokemon in both metas.
Yeah.
Is a big giant fairy that hits hard, regardless of whether or not we have a super thick dump truck of a special defense. It doesn't matter. She's still smashing us with 135 Stab, Moonblast, or Dazzle.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're getting smoked.
Yeah.
Zero, what is Hisuian Gudra?
Steel and Dragon.
So that's important for the listeners to understand. Trainers to understand. Masters will already know what we're hinting at. It's because now it makes that fairy hit neutral because it balances it out. Dragon's weak, steel resist, meet in the middle. Now you have a neutral hit with a base. I believe it's 150.
Yeah, it's 150. That's more than regular Gudra, right?
Which is 120, I believe.
120?
Don't quote me on that, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking just because I'm curious myself. Well, we know that she's pretty thick on the defensive side.
So the thing is she still has Sap Sipper. So now we have a better typing because we're part steel, and we still have Sap Sipper. So what does Sap Sipper do? Is when we get hit by a grass type move, we get immune to the damage.
Yeah, you're immune and you get +1 attack.
And +1 attack. So no spores.
No spores.
Built in, baby.
Yeah.
You like coming out the gate without even having to waste an item slot on that Zero?
Yeah.
Boom! That's a high five. So, Sap Sipper S tier. And we already talked about Lilligant. Lilligant is amazing. And we also have things like Meowscarada that has Petal Blizzard. For the people that don't know, Petal Blizzard is basically like Surf.
Yep.
But it's grass type and it's physical. That's the only difference.
Yep.
Copy paste the move Surf, but make it grass type and physical instead of water type and special.
Yeah.
So we use Petal Blizzard and we proc our own allies Sap Sipper, and he's immune to the damage, and we smash both enemies with a Victory Dance boosted Petal Blizzard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You got any combos you're excited to try, singles or doubles?
So stuff that I'm just excited to kind of get back into the game. So I guess I'll start with singles, right?
Yep.
So singles for me, big things here. Heatran is a huge one. Heatran's absolutely a huge one. I've over time converted to the especially defensive version of Heatran. I know you kind of like an offensive. He's got a good special attack, but
I have one currently made, and it's in Scarlet, and then I have one that's not made yet, and it's still in Galar. Okay. But that one will be my defensive one. I just haven't figured out exactly where I want to go with the EVs. But yeah, the one I have transferred is basically your standard kind of glass cannon offensive Heatran.
And I have one of those too.
And he's great because he has flash fire built in. Yep. He's fire and steel. Again, we talked about how amazing steel type is.
The one problem I have with Heatran now is 130 special attack, very strong, right?
77 speed.
But 130 special attack is becoming the new norm. The power creep, as you already know, is really... it's a creeping.
But I guess what I will say is that at least he's up there where he needs to be. He can still carry. It hasn't creeped away. Fluttermane's 135. He's 130. Fluttermane has a crazy low physical defense. This dude's even on both sides with 106 and a 91 HP. His boy's thick frog. So I see what you're saying, but I don't think it's creeped away too much from this guy in particular.
It also helps that you can run a triple stab build with Terra.
I think Terra will be the
great dual stab. Yeah. Great dual stab because Steel's getting stronger with
Steel and Fire's great, but what's the biggest problem? He's quad weak to EQs or to ground type stuff, and we've seen EQ spam be a thing in VGC since the beginning of 9th Gen.
Right.
That's been a thing regardless of its Garchomp, regardless of its Roaring Moon, regardless of its Dragonite. EQ spam in VGC has been a thing, and we can assume it will continue to be a thing. And this dude gets slaughtered by that because he's ×4 weak to it. So we normally see Air Balloon. But now we have Terra Zero, which is a beautiful... because he still gains those amazing... or he still maintains, those incredibly potent offensive stabs of Fire Steel, and he shreds off all of those crappy, defensive problems that he has.
I think there's room for Terra Ground.
100%.
Because he's got access to Earth Power. It's part of a lot of sets.
I also like Terra Flying.
I like Terra Flying as well.
Terra Flying, I think, is a great shout off the top of the dome. I also like taking either one, depending on your meta, depending on your team, and just picking one and going the double dip route, or you said, triple stab. But I like going if you go Terra Ground for the triple stab, you have Earth Power.
Yeah.
If you go Flying, you'd have to run Terra Blast, but it's there. But if you go double dip with this guy, Terra Fire or Terra Steel, because then you shred that quad weakness, to ground.
Yep.
You're getting rid of that, but still maintaining the oomph, and you're actually, like we say, double dipping into that power.
Yeah.
Very hot pick.
This brings me naturally to another Pokemon I want to mention, and that's Landorus.
Landorus Therian has returned, and that boy has had significant... I think it's fair to say nerfs.
Yeah, both versions have been nerfs.
Yeah.
But
he's still what he is.
I think Incarnate has been hit a little harder. He still has some sheer force boosted moves, but we don't know the coverage.
So for people that don't know, Incarnate is the genie form, and then Therian is the tiger form.
Yeah. It's still a really strong Pokemon. It's a great Scarf Pokemon. Yeah. It's a great Assault Vest Pokemon.
Therian's amazing. He still has EQ, Rock Slider, Stone Edge, Fly, Swords Dance,
U-Turn,
Protect, U-Turn, Intimidate. He still has the stats, so he still is going to do offensively what he needs to, especially in singles. That boy is going to be 100%. An amazing threat in your neck of the woods in 3v3. In VGC, he's going to struggle because Fly sucks.
Yes.
And Earthquake is situational, and he doesn't have another replacement.
Yeah, you always run Rock Slide on a Landorus build, and then you just kind of hope for some flinches. That's kind of part of his role.
It's just not my favorite in VGC. But he has historically been a great Intimidate because he has a great typing. Yes, he's quad weak to Ice, but other than that, it's actually a very potent typing.
So you're going to see this little trend that I'm going on here. Mm-hmm. We talked about Heatran, the natural counter is Landorus, and now we talk about his natural counter, that's Regieleki.
Yeah, Regieleki, the boy coming in, the Pseudo-Hoenn rep, that Galar rep for sure, coming in hot. What was back in the day? Bolt Beam. What's Regieleki you got? One step below Hidden Power? We have Terra Ice with Terra Blast.
Terra Ice. Regieleki ended up getting it was the first ban of the Pokemon home.
It got banned in 16 hours.
Yeah, it was
from
so
OU.
fast.
It's so bad. Transistor got nerfed. It was 1.5 times the damage, so that's basically a one-stage increase. Now it's 1.3, so basically a Life Orb increase.
Warranted though. But
it's still a built-in Life Orb without the recoil as an ability. Twisted Transistor, Regieleki is here to stay. S tier, there's a reason that we hyped it up earlier. It's because of this. The Terra Ice is amazing. There's also special shoutouts. I like Terra Fire, Terra Grass, Terra Water. Go figure. I also am a huge fan of something like, you could do like Terra Fairy.
Yes.
And just have amazing coverage. So I think there's a lot of cool options. But yeah, I think the low-hanging fruit would be Terra Ice, because then you get that classic Bolt Beam. Why is that important?
It's unresisted stab combination. The other thing that I really enjoy about Regieleki is it's a great screen Pokemon. There's a Pokemon that puts up screens
200 base speed.
just as fast as Prankster Pokemon.
I'm a big fan of his ability to put up screens as well. I've used that before.
And you can pivot out with Volt Switch.
Yeah, Volt Switch is great. Oh, yeah, good shout. He gets Eerie Impulse.
He
Gets Thunder Wave.
Yup.
And he gets Electro Web. For people that don't know, that is an electric type icy wind. And it's exactly what it sounds like. -1 speed, 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. And that is Twisted Transistor boosted. So that's it for me personally, for all my hot picks here. I think competitively, Volcanian's not going to be a thing. Hoopa's not going to be a thing, unfortunately. Do you have any more that you're excited for on this list?
Yeah, I'll shout out a couple more because I feel like we've got a couple minutes to talk about them.
For this segment, yeah. For this part of the segment, yes.
Well, Hisuian Samurai, I think we agree is the best Hisuian Pokemon.
I think so.
Hisuian Zoroark has a lot of play as well, I think.
Yeah, he still has Illusion?
Yes.
So what has changed about him? He went from pure dark
to normal Ghost.
Wow.
So he has 3 immunities.
Immune to fighting, immune to ghost.
Yeah.
Is this the first normal ghost we've ever had?
Yep, it is. Yep.
Wow.
Couldn't
And new typing.
Couldn't have happened to a cooler Pokemon.
So
too.
and Ghost is great in VGC.
Yep.
So he's immune to fake out built in. He's immune to close combats. He's immune to Fluttermane Shatter Balls or Goldango Shadow Balls.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really strong Pokemon, dude. Super fast, higher special attack.
I
and
almost
speed.
don't want to Terra him.
Dude, I had the same thought. I was like, there's
Am I
no
crazy?
reason. No, there's no reason to Terra him.
He's great. Is he special attacker still, or does he do mix?
Yeah, no, he's a special attacker. I think he's stronger. I think he's a stronger special attacker now than he was before. So why don't you lead off on the next segment while I look this up?
So this is something that is not invented by us. We did not discover it. It's just something funny that we kind of coined the phrase in our group chat amongst our buddies behind the scenes. So we're just going to call it that. It's the PMC hack, aka the resource saving hack. So if you ever hear us about calling it the PMC hack or the resource saving PMC hack, this is what we're talking about. So we are going to sort of show you / tell you how to save your resources or manage your resources with the new home update. Because one of the, I think, fair criticism of Gen 9 is that there's a lot of grinding. Whether it's for TMs, Terra Shards,
those are the big ones.
Yeah,
those are the big ones for me. When I make a Pokemon, I'm like, oh, bro, I have to grind for TM materials.
So what if I told
you
I had a solution for you? We're gonna pretend like it's a couple days ago.
You do? Well, tell me about this.
So
solution.
I hit you up, and it was a couple days ago, and we were chilling, and you're like, "Oh, well, do tell." Like genuinely, and I showed you, and you're like, "Oh, thank God," because it literally saved us.
Yeah, it did.
So we're over here on our handy dandy Switch. We're on home. We're on Zero's account right now.
That's German for Switch, for those of you who don't know.
We say weird things. So we're over here on the Switch. We're over on home. So it's really simple. Once you just load in here, you just start home, you load in, you wait for a second for this little ball to spin, and you click Pokemon. Once you go to Pokemon, you can see all of the games that Zero currently has loaded onto his OLED, his fancy new
Switch OLED.
His Switch OLED. He's got the Shining Pearl, Arceus, Shield, and Violet. So we'll go over here, and we'll go to what do you want to go to? This one?
Let's grab something out of Shield. Let's show them the changes to the moveset.
Do you have Super Boo yet?
No,
oh,
sorry,
okay.
buddy.
No, it's okay.
Go to Shield. Go to Shield. Let's grab something.
I wasn't. We had talked about whether or not that would be ready. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
My bad. So we'll go to Shield right here. Oh, so first of all, we're aesthetics guys.
Yes.
We're artists.
Yes.
Hence the drum sets. But, wow, do I love the aesthetics.
Yeah, I love all these alternate art. So grab that Clawitzer. Let's grab Clawitzer here. He's level 50. This is competitively ready. Timid, Mega Launcher.
Completely, perfectly competitive ready. So you cannot get any poke that... See this Uriah?
Yeah, he's on a battle team.
He's in a battle team. You can't do it. You're a battle team, blah, 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 blah.
Even though there's no servers for Sword and Shield, he's on a battle team.
And then, like, I could take this Politoed, and I could put it in home. But, spoiler, Politoed's not in right now. So, we'll do Clawitzer, and then all these up here that Zero has, these are just other pokes that he's just waiting to transfer. They just don't have a home yet.
So let's take a quick look at Clawitzer's moveset right now as we do the transfer.
So as you can see on the bottom, we have Icy Wind, Dark Pulse, Water Pulse, Aura Sphere. He's timid with Mega Launcher, and he is, where's his level? Level 50 perfectly. And he's pure water. So we go right here. We put him in home. We click plus, save changes, and now you're done. So now you're back here. Now watch how easy this is. So you're like, oh, wait a minute. I messed up. I want to put him back. Yeah, sure, no problem. Or you want to transfer. No problem. You're right back here. You just go right back to the menu and click a button again. But we're going to go up to Violet and watch what happens here. So we're going to go down here. It organized for us. We're going to go over to see Clawitzer and all of Zero's beautiful water Pokemon. There is a space open, so we're going to use this. And we're going to drop him. And now look what happens. There's a little yellow disc. Looks just like the TM or TR disc.
Yep.
For people that are listening. It's yellow. We're going to... At the top, you can see how there's a ZR. You can kind of switch over from red to blue to green. And that's sort of like you
grab
do
a
this
few.
big thing.
Yep.
We're going to go to the red one. And that's how you personally select here. And down here, you have change move and forget moves. Now, I'm not going to do forget moves. I do change moves, though, Zero, because...
So...
This is... Yeah. This is like... I don't know. What's the descriptive you want to say? That I want to say a bad word. This is awesome, though.
This is the shiz.
This is the shiz. This is awesome. Like, this is... so cool.
If you'll notice, they did change the moves. So this is the base moves that this Pokemon has at level 50. So they'll give you the last 4 moves according to your Pokemon's level. Just
and it erased the moves that we had on the thing.
Yep.
But Icy Wind's right there. Dark Pulse is right there. There's some Aqua Jet, Heal Pulse, Splash, Water Gun, Flail, Aqua Jet, blah, 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 all the way down. And you can see, so we can go Icy Wind, Water Sphere we want to keep, Water Pulse we want to keep, and we can go Dark Pulse. So boom.
So we've got our setback.
Got our setback.
And it saves TMs and TRs of the Pokemon in the Pokemon's memory.
Yeah.
When it was transferred.
And it saves the TRs if it was in the memory. It saves the TMs if they're physically on the moveset when you make the transfer.
Yeah.
So watch, we place that there, and now the little disc turns gray or black.
Yep.
It means it's done. But we made a mistake. Like, I didn't want Aura Sphere. I wanted Aqua Jet. Or whatever.
Or some sort of TM or TR that I don't have in Scarlet and Violet.
Or regardless, you just... that's the next part. So first, it's like, I didn't want Icy Wind, I wanted Aqua Jet.
Yeah.
Because I wanted this for a VGC team where I can proc my partner's weakness policy. Well, I made a mistake. Well, that's fine. You pick it up. This is the first part of the hack.
Yep.
How to undo a mistake real quick. Yeah, you save it there. Save changes, put it back in home, save the changes. Go right back. Click the same game you were just in. There he is. Go move him. And in real time, no editing, just like that. And look, there's another yellow thing. So that took, 30 seconds or less?
Yep.
In real time to just go right back, change moves, and now look. There's the Icy Wind.
Yep.
Oh, and there's the Aqua Jet.
Oh,
and
perfect. Now we can weakness policy.
But we have a problem, Zero.
Okay. What's the problem?
I don't see U-turn and I don't see protect. And I would like that as an option. But I don't want to have to spend or grind for all these resources in Gen 9. So you're telling me there's a way.
Yeah, because I have unlimited U-turn TM usage in Sword and Shield, right? So what if we maybe went back to Sword and Shield, right?
We're going to show you the second part, the big part of the PMC hack right now. So we take this Clawitzer and we put him right back where we found him in Galar. We don't worry about his moves. And we just save the game.
And bonus, I don't know how or why they do this. The moveset that he had in Sword and Shield, now that he's back in Sword and Shield, is restored.
To the original.
Yeah.
It's really cool how that works. So we're going to save this right here.
And then we're going to hop in Sword and Shield.
So, we're back. We're back in Galar. Look familiar? We ran our bikes in circle for about 9 billion hours in front of this place. I'm surprised there's not a huge trench like
Who's that? Who's that handsome young man on there?
Yeah, I'm surprised there's not a trench like we're in 1914 France. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a moat.
So, we're going to go over here. We're going to go to your handy-dandy pokey-pokes. Money bags.
Money bags.
The
Hey, there's the Clawitzer.
We're going to go grab Clawitzer right here. Boom. Boom. And here's the best part, Brandon.
The best part?
The best
Ooh, okay.
part of waking up is look at all of this. So, you got to check certain Pokemon have lost a couple moves through transfer. We've talked about it before, but all of the Isle of Armor moves, most of them are gone. So just check, but most are gone. Check with Sarah B. Check with Ballopedia. Stay up to date before you waste your time. But,
dude, I only have one ally switch? Man. That means I'm an honest gamer.
So first one's up, the TR Protect. We're giving this boy Protect because everybody needs to have it in their repertoire. So we're going to get rid of Aura Sphere because that's in his level up. That means it'll be there when we go back for it.
Perfect.
Next one, go all the way down. Handy Dandy U-Turn. We're going to go cover up Water Pulse.
Don't forget to save.
Yep.
I forgot that's a thing sometimes.
Yeah. And then also, egg moves will work. I've done this before. I physically tried it myself with a Lucario and Bullet Punch. So egg moves will work. I recommend, same as the TM, you make sure that the egg move is physically in one of the 4 move slots when you transfer it. That's my recommendation because PMC Sport Ninja did have some trouble with his Lucario with Bullet Punch, but it was not in one of his 4 move slots when he transferred it. Mine was, mine worked, his was not, his did not. That's just reporting what we found within the first week of home.
It's perfect. So we'll save the game. We'll hop back into home.
Disclaimer, make sure that the Pokemon is in the box before you try to go back to home because you can't transfer them from your party. They have to be in the PC.
Yes, yes, yes.
So once you're back in home, you go back to your Pokemon Shield Game 0. Last but not least, we see the fancy schmancy Clawitzer. We pull him out. We drop him here. We click plus. We click save, and in real time, just like this, watch, we won't even cut this. We'll go right like this.
Do, 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 do. We tried to have Google and Siri play.
You go right back out? Yeah, they weren't listening. You go right to Zero's Violet version. Another tip. The cartridge does not need to be in the Switch for you to access home and access the save file and do all this stuff. So you could have like Legend of Zelda in.
You do have to be on the internet, though.
You do have to be on the internet.
Yeah, I walked away from my Wi-Fi. Yeah. I got in a car, and then it wouldn't work. But anyway.
Yeah, definitely. So then you put Inteleon here, and presto, look at that. Another yellow one. Now we go back. Change moves, Water Pulse. We like that, but look what's here. Protect and U-Turn. And then look, the Dark Pulse is still there, the Icy Wind's still there, the Dragon Pulse is still there, Aqua Jet, and as we saw at the top, Water Pulse. So every single move that we had is still here. You just saw the PMC hack live in action. That's how you do it using Brandon's new Clawitzer. So there you go, sir. I will hand the controller off to you, and off camera, I'll let you finish whatever you need to do. We'll get back to the podcast. Your regularly scheduled PMC programming.
All right. Any closing thoughts on Regulation D and home?
Yeah, Pokemon? So there's some cool stuff coming out. There's a lot of heavy hitters. There's some exciting stuff. Rillaboom coming back, bringing in that grassy surge. No Grassy Glide, though, so it'll be interesting to see where he fits in the meta.
Cresselia's coming back. It's going to be one of our few ally switch Pokemon that can also set up a Trick Room.
As well as dual screens, and she's super thick, and I got a shiny one. So
Okay,
very excited about
okay.
that.
Yeah.
Squats!
The Cinderace.
The Cinderace with Libero, as well as we already talked about Greninja with the original with Protean. So being able, no, it's not protein. That's not how you spell
not protein. It's Protean.
That's not how you spell protein. Protein is EIN.
All right.
So, it's Protean.
Anyway, yeah.
So those are really, really fun. The genies are going to be great, I think. Also, we talked about it before. I'm really excited to bust out either the Goodra squad or my Rain squad because Geets is back. Still no Poncho or Kingdra, Ludicolo or Kingdra in terms of Swift Swimmers, but we do have Basculegion, which is pretty great. I am interested in trying out a couple of different Swift Swim pokes and ideas. Other than that, outside of Samurai, who are you excited to try?
I would say the big ones for me.
Singles or VGC or both.
I would love to put it together a Trick Room squad with my Ice Horse again, potentially.
Ooh, maybe Ice Horse. Maybe we'll slot in Ursaluna also.
Yeah, we'll see if it's any good with all the Intimidates running around.
Let's go. That'd be sick, bro.
It's an idea. Assault Vest Horse.
Yeah, so stay tuned. Let us know in the comments down below. What do you think? What do you want to see? If you're a fan of the channel before, you've seen us do stuff back in HN and you're familiar with some of these Pokemon, who do you want to see back? You can name them by nickname or by Pokemon. Or if you are, not somebody that's familiar with some of our favorites, who, out of all the Regulation D, entries, some of the transfer-only pokes from Hisui or whatever, let us know in the comments below. We would love to extend this conversation and keep it going with you, fellas and ladies, trainers and masters alike, in the comment section.
All right, guys. That's going to do it. Justin is dying over here with his hoarse voice. So we're going to get out of here.
It's just so much to talk about. There's so much Pokemon.
I know. I can't believe you really toughed it out for this one.
Yeah, had to, man. It was an exciting one. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited because the last little bit that we should talk about is the fact that before we go, Showdown Live currently has a thing for their simulator where you can play Regulation D and test it early.
Reg
so
D is
that's
open.
where we're going to be testing our teams. You can also go on the casual ladder to test some stuff on the Switch. Personally, I like testing on Showdown because it's faster. You can get a lot more games in, but it should be noted that you can test stuff there as well.
Yeah. So guys, we're going to get out of here. Justin's going to rest his voice. He really needs it. Until next time, I've been Zero.
And I'm Justin.
Council's adjourned.